Welcome to Sacrilegious Discourse.
I'm husband.
And I'm wife.
Together, we're reading the Bible for the very first time.
We grew up without religion and wanted to know what all the fuss was about.
Well, what have we learned so far?
That God is a dick, and apparently some people believe in talking donkeys?
We're not trying to pass ourselves off as experts.
Nope, we're just reading the Bible for the first time and giving our first take reaction.
If you'd like to join us in this venture, you might consider starting at episode 1.
Otherwise, jump in wherever you like.
All right, let's go read the Bible.
Yeah, let's get to it. Husband!
Wife!
Where the hell are we? What are we doing? What's happening?
I think we're doing a podcast.
We are.
Yeah, we've been, kind of woefully behind on some stuff, so...
We sure as fuck have.
This is coming out a little late.
It is.
Yeah.
It was supposed to come out this morning.
And now it's late.
It is.
Very...
Not
kind of
days.
Hours late.
Hours
late.
Yeah.
Yes, that is for sure.
Yeah.
And that being said, we have been meaning to say for the longest time on our podcast here, because June started, Happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride Month.
We had not covered that up until, we keep forgetting to throw that on there, and we're like, oh, damn it, we forgot to say it.
Yes.
So Happy Pride Month, everybody.
Happy Pride Month. That's not just lip service.
No, definitely not.
We're beyond allies. I mean, our kid identifies as trans. I am bi, and we are just a very LGBTQ friendly family.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
Happy Pride, everybody.
Definitely. All right. So that being said, I don't remember anything about the last time we did Psalms.
No.
Because it was some bullshit.
It was some bullshit.
But what are we covering today?
We are doing Psalms 31, 32, and 33. And as a matter of fact, I remember last time when I said that, you were like, no. Because that seems so far. But
it does. This is going, number-wise, is going really quick.
It is.
There's a lot of numbers, though.
There's a lot of numbers.
There's a lot of Psalms.
A lot of Psalms.
All right. You ready to get into this?
Never.
Well, we're going to do it anyway.
All right.
All right. Let's do this.
Okie dokie. All right. Psalm 31.
Okay.
Are you ready for this magic?
I am ready.
For the director of music, a Psalm of David.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm shocked that it's for David.
I know. I wonder if all of these are for David.
I thought they weren't all, but it's seeming like they are.
Maybe just quote unquote book 1 of the Psalms.
Could be.
Are all Davidic in nature.
I have no idea.
I'm curious, are we ever going to get to any that are non-David?
Possibly.
In you, O Lord, I have taken refuge. Let me never be put to shame. Deliver me in your righteousness. Turn your ear to me. Come quickly to my rescue. Be my rock of refuge, as a strong fortress to save me.
Okay.
I don't like the use of the word refuge so much because I always want to say refuge.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They use that word a lot in these. You are my refuge.
Right.
I don't like it. I don't like that word.
Got it. Got it.
I'm not going to use that word in my writing.
Don't use that in your writing.
I'm not going to.
Okay.
Since you are my rock and my fortress, for the sake of your name, lead and guide me. Free me from the trap that is set for me, for you are my refuge.
I wonder what the trap was.
It's a trap.
Yeah.
It's a trap.
Is life the trap? Did God set the trap?
Colonel Akbar could tell you that.
Who?
Oh my God! In Star Wars, the frog guy, he goes, "It's a trap."
Got it. Sorry.
You know?
Yeah, no, I got it now. It was a.
That was really... not an odd reference.
Well.
No, everybody knows it's a trap. Everybody knows that.
I don't. Okay.
They do. That is not. No. I refuse to accept your argument here. That is not a crazy reference. Everybody knows a Star Wars reference.
Okay.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I hate you.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Into your hands I commit my spirit. Redeem me, O Lord, the God of truth. I hate those who cling to worthless idols. I hate them, huh?
He hates them.
Damn. I trust in the Lord. I will be glad and rejoice in your love, for you saw my affliction and knew the anguish of my soul. I don't think you should hate those who cling to worthless idols and then follow that up with, I trust in the Lord. Because you don't need to hate them. Just trust in the Lord to take care of them and don't worry about
That's
it.
part of my beef with like Christianity in general and religion is that they're like, they decide they're going to judge you, right? They're like, you suck for this reason or that reason. Who gives a fuck? Let God judge me. I don't like. It's not up to you, man.
Yeah. They follow it up in the very next sentence with, God is awesome. He's the biggest. He could take care of everything, except I got to do this little bit for him.
Right. I got to judge you.
Yeah.
Because otherwise,
on his behalf.
Who's going to judge you? Well, you're God. You said your God was.
Yeah.
So.
That big guy in the sky.
Right.
Sky Daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have not handed me over to the enemy, but have set my feet in a spacious place.
Okay.
When we first moved in here and our furniture wasn't here yet, we referred to it as a spacious place because it was empty.
Right. Yes.
Be merciful to me, O Lord, for I'm in distress. My eyes grow weak with sorrow, my soul and my body with grief. My life is consumed by anguish and my years by groaning. My strength fails because of my affliction and my bones grow weak. He got
sounds like you should drink some more milk, man.
Or take a blue pill. He got a weak bone.
Well, that's a different time. Yeah.
What? Okay. Because of all my enemies, I am the utter contempt of my neighbors. I don't care what my neighbors think. I am a dread to my friends. Those who see me on the street flee from me.
This guy sounds like a real peach.
When they see me rolling, I am forgotten by them as though I were dead. I have become like broken pottery.
There's that broken pottery, the shards.
Potsherd. For I hear the slander of many. There is terror on every side. They conspire against me and plot to take my life. I thought you said
this sounds a lot like the mantra that they teach the right wing. Like, all your neighbors suck and they're out to get you, and they're probably liberal assholes who are they're plotting your demise.
You. You're 2 seconds from getting raped and murdered on every corner.
They're literally going to come in and take your guns when you walk away from your house.
Yeah.
And
be afraid. Never not be afraid.
Teach your kids to be trans and
they're going to turn you gay.
Yeah.
They're going to get you.
It's going to happen.
Yeah. Like,
be scared of them.
Ooh. Oh, did I tell you? My mom said that if my dad happens to die before her, she wants to get a dog. And I was like, why do you want a dog? And she goes, to keep me safe. I go, Mom, you live in a condo that you have to get into the building before you get to your door. Yeah. Like,
in a pretty decent neighborhood.
Yeah. I was like, where are all these scary people? And she goes, you never know. And I was just like,
oh my God.
Are you kidding me? I feel this is the fear that they have. And they need their mans alive to take care of them. Mm-hmm. Because otherwise all the rapists and murderers are going to get them.
Right.
So they got to get guns and dogs.
Yeah.
My mom lives in a fucking condo. She doesn't need a dog.
There's not even any parking in the fucking place.
No, literally there is no guest parking. We have to park 2 apartment complexes over and walk our asses down, except that they are granted 1 parking slot for their condo in addition to their they have a garage, and they only have 1 vehicle, so they park in the garage and allow us to park in our spot when we come visit.
Yeah.
They have to move their vehicle to their garage so that we can park in their spot.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what are you afraid of? What are you scared of all the time? Mm-hmm. Could you imagine living your life in that much fear?
No.
Somebody is just about to get you. You got to get a dog.
Right.
They're going to get you. Mm-hmm. Whew. But I trust in you, O Lord. Not enough. You need to trust him a little bit more, I say. I say, you are my God. My times are in your hands. Deliver me from my enemies and from those who pursue me. Let your face shine on your servant. Save me in your unfailing love. Let me not be put to shame, O Lord, for I have cried out to you. But let the wicked be put to shame and lie silent in the grave. Damn. Kill them and make them shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Get dead, bitch.
Right.
Let their lying lips be silenced.
This turned like really evil.
This is so mean. This
Right.
sounds satanic to me.
Yeah, like this would be somebody you might want to put like on the watch list or something.
Right?
You
Like
know?
a no-fly list. And
Yeah.
like, I don't think this guy gets a gun.
He doesn't seem quite mentally stable here.
No. Let their lying lips be silenced.
Right?
Put them in the grave.
Yeah.
Kill them. For with pride and contempt, they speak arrogantly against the righteous. Do they though? Or are they just like over there trying to live and wish you would leave them alone?
Right.
Like, I'm sorry, I'm over here being brown.
Maybe you're talking God way too much and they're
Yeah.
like, dude, shut the fuck up.
Maybe you're being white in their area and they're like, we don't need you. Thanks.
Right.
Thanks. How great is your goodness, which you have stored up for those who fear you, which you bestow in the sight of men on those who take refuge in you. In the shelter of your presence, you hide them from the intrigues of men. In your dwelling, you keep them safe from accusing tongues. Always accusing you of shit.
Right.
What the hell are you doing that so many people are lying about you and accusing you of shit all the time?
Right.
Like, seriously, you at some point, you got to ask yourself, is this maybe a you problem? Maybe you're the problem.
Yeah.
It's you.
Seemed like we covered this in another psalm too.
I think so.
It's a lot of people like asking for personal favors because everybody is out to get them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And I'm like, maybe you're not all that.
Right.
Maybe you don't deserve favors, David. Praise be to the Lord, for he showed his wonderful love to me when I was in a besieged city. In my alarm, I said, I'm cut off from your sight. Yet you heard my cry for mercy when I called to you for help. Love the Lord, all his saints. The Lord preserves the faithful, but the proud he pays back in full. Be strong and take heart, all you who hope in the Lord. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I don't know if I like that.
I mean,
psalm.
He's like asking to kill people who are,
Dear God,
talking
please
bad
kill
about
my
him.
ex, love, wife. What? I mean, right? That's evil. I would never.
Right.
Like, that's horrible.
Yeah.
I don't even like that guy and I ain't making that prayer.
Right.
That's gross. Okay, Psalm 31, a profession of trust. And it starts out, in thee, O Lord, do I put my trust.
Yeah.
But it sounds to me like, but you don't, though.
Right.
You know?
He's...
You don't trust the Lord. You're telling him how to do his job.
Well, yeah. He thinks he's helping him do his job by
Right.
telling other people that they're wrong and bad.
Right.
And evil and that they should be silenced and murdered.
Yeah. And he's telling God, hey, you should murder those guys, oh God.
Right.
Oh God, who's great.
He's the guy that like is at the HOA and like measuring your grass.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. I'm just helping.
Right.
He doesn't even work for the HOA.
Right.
He reports to them shit that they didn't even ask for.
Yeah, because they were really annoyed with him. Like, yeah, if you need to report something, just bring it by. It's fine.
Don't handle it yourself. Just let us know.
Right?
We'll handle
we'll
it.
take care of it.
So now he walks around and he's measuring everybody's grass, and he's also measuring to make sure that the little shed that you put up in your backyard is far enough away from the fence, and that the fence is far enough away from the sidewalk, and that your sidewalk is so many feet from the street, and that you didn't build too close to the fire hydrant and all that shit. Like this guy, and they're like, Jesus Christ, when's he gonna get him? Can we make him move? And the answer is no. You created a fucking monster with your arbitrary bullshit rules.
Right.
God.
Yeah.
David, is your fault, God.
Right.
All right, sorry. Psalm 31 was likely written while David was fleeing from Saul, if you assume that David is the one who wrote it.
Sure.
Which, who even fucking knows?
Right.
Composition cannot be placed earlier than the troubles of Israel preceding the reforms of Nehemiah.
Okay.
Whenever the hell that was.
Well, that was like, I thought that was when they, whatever.
Right.
When they fled and all that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, the Persian period began in 539 BC, and Nehemiah's reforms are dated to about 445 BC.
Right.
So it couldn't have been before that.
Okay.
So somebody, whoever wrote it, no earlier than that time.
Right.
Okay, so we're still in the BC period.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, because verse 5, which was, into thine hand I commit my spirit,
Mm-hmm.
constituted the last words of many Christian figures, including Jesus himself, which I was not aware of. Thanks, Bible. Spoilers. This particular verse is often stated at time of death, like for religious-y people as they die.
Oh, okay.
They'll say that.
Got
that
it.
thing. Into thine hand I commit my spirit.
I have heard that line before.
And then they die.
Right.
Yeah, I haven't. I don't care enough.
Sure.
This psalm may be said as a prayer for the well-being of an ailing person.
Okay.
So if you know somebody who's dying, pull out your Bible and say this one at them.
If you're
Psalm 31.
And, religious-y and stuff.
Yeah, I guess. It doesn't seem to me like it's very romantic. Like, it doesn't come off like with poesy and like ultra beautiful. Like, it's not beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to say this.
That's not what I would want to hear on my, sick bed, deathbed type thing.
Look, there are some psalms that I'm like, yeah, that's all right. If it makes you feel better to say it, go ahead. What the fuck ever. I'm almost out of here.
Right.
I don't care.
Right.
Right? But I would be like, that's not the one though. It's not that I hate it. It's just like you had all the psalms in the book.
Right.
And there's 130 something of them. And that's the one you picked.
Right.
Like, I don't know about all that.
Sure.
All right. Now we're moving on to Psalm 32.
Okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
32. Here we go. It's pretty short.
Oh, okay.
That makes me happy. Of David.
Of
Okay?
David.
Of David.
So David.
David singed it. Blessed is he whose transgressions are forgiven, whose sins are covered. Blessed is the man whose sin the Lord does not count against him, and whose spirit is no deceit.
Wait. The blessed is he who has sinned but then got forgiven, and that the God doesn't care about this guy's like what?
Yeah.
Okay,
what?
I get. So some people are God gives a pass to, which I mean I know. Yeah, you can ask for forgiveness, you can do all these other things, but
Sure.
like blessed is he? Like, yeah, you sinned and then you bless.
But I liked you a lot, so you get off.
Maybe okay. I don't understand it. Okay.
I don't care enough to ask questions.
But like sometimes he acts immediately. Like when Aaron's sons lit the wrong fucking fire for the incense or whatever the fuck it was, they're just dead.
And when the one guy was trying to make sure that the ark didn't touch the ground when it fumbled, and he died immediately.
And then the guy that picked up sticks on the Sabbath, he fucking dead immediately.
Smoke, bitch.
Right?
Yeah.
Like why do some people get a pass and a forgiveness and other people don't?
They just don't.
Doesn't make any sense.
That's because God is arbitrary, because God is man.
Right.
That's it. When I kept silent, my bones wasted away through my groaning all day long. For day and night.
Mm-hmm.
Your hand was heavy upon me. Yeah, it was. My strength was sapped. As in the heat of summer. Then I acknowledged my sin to you, and I did not cover up my iniquity, because I was naked. I was naked with my iniquity. This is so sexual. I'm loving it.
Yeah.
I said, I'll confess my transgressions to the Lord. And you forgave.
We just might as well start a 1-800 number here.
That would be fun. I'm not opposed.
Or no, it was 1-900 back in the day.
Oh, yeah. 1-900
right.
numbers. Yeah. And you forgave the guilt of my sin. See?
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, let everyone who is godly pray to you while you may be found, but not while you may not be found.
Okay. Yeah.
Surely when the mighty waters rise, they will not reach him. You are my hiding place, and you will protect me from and surround me with the songs of deliverance. Salah.
Okay. Yeah.
I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I'm going to tell you a thing.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I will counsel you and watch over you. Do not be... Oh, this sounds like maybe that was people talking. There were some more salahs that I didn't mention. They were off to the side. I didn't see them.
Okay.
Just pretend I did them.
Sure.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like those were all God, like people talking to God, and like now God is talking to them.
Okay.
Okay. That's my impression.
Sure.
So let's pretend that God is talking now. Okay.
Yeah.
I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you and watch over you. Do not be like the horse or the mule, which have no understanding, but must be controlled by bit and bridle, or they will not come to you. Many are the woes of the wicked, but the Lord's unfailing love surrounds the man who trusts him. God love me.
Well, Balak's ass knew. It understood.
Yeah, it did.
I'm just saying
it did.
It really understood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Rejoice in the Lord and be glad, you righteous. Sing, all you who are upright in heart.
Okay.
That's very
you closed that book with authority there.
I did. It felt good. Slam! Put Psalm 32 notes. The blessedness of forgiveness starts out, blessed is he whose transgression is forgiven, which leads you to believe unblessed is he whose transgression is unforgiven.
Right. Okay. But what's the difference?
Who knows?
Did they both offer a sacrifice to the Lord?
I don't know. Did they?
And God only forgave one of them? Or did one not and the other one did, and that's why they're blessed and the other one's not?
Maybe. Or maybe one didn't bathe often enough, or maybe one accidentally had a wet dream, or maybe one was on her period, or maybe one, fill in the blank.
Yeah. You know how we've talked about intention before? Mm-hmm. The person that does something and then, does the right sacrifice and all the right things, right, gets forgiven, maybe, kind of, possibly.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
But then, what if you just go and do it again the next day after you got forgiven? The intention is not good because you're still doing it. You're doing it with the intention that I'm going to get forgiven again.
I think that's why they say intention matters. If you just keep doing this, you're not really sorry.
Right.
You're not sorry you did it. If you're really sorry you did it, you're not just saying sorry so that you can get your little forgivey point coins and then go out and do it again. But
that's why I feel like there has to be more rigid rules with regard to being forgiven with religion, because if you can just be either you're forgiven or you're not, right? Right. So
really only you can know that. No man can deliver that to you.
Right. But if you go into it with the intention that I'm going to do this, get forgiven, and then, go back out and do it again, the intention is that you're still a bad person. Right. Or, whatever. I'm not saying you're a bad person. I'm just saying that
you do bad things.
In the eyes of the Lord, quote unquote, you're a bad person, right? Right. At least that would be the way I would take it.
But also that's only if other people catch you.
Why?
Because God ain't
God
real.
Can see everything, right?
But if God could really see everything, then he wouldn't need to tell him you're sorry, because he knows if you are or aren't.
Right.
So
I know, which is why none of this shit makes any sense.
It doesn't. It would be nice if there was a fair and just God, but there's not.
There's not a God.
There's not a God, fair and just, or jealous and cruel.
Right.
But if there is a God, he's jealous and cruel, and I don't want to praise that. So
right.
I'd rather praise no God.
Yeah.
Or not praise no God. I'd rather proclaim there is no God than that there's this fake, weird, angry, cuckoo beans one.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah. So the harm suffered by the psalmist is very hard to bear, although we cannot know precisely its nature.
Sure.
Okay. The psalmist seeks to understand where it comes from, because at the time, of course, as we know from the book of Job, misfortune was understood as a consequence of the sins one has committed. Right? So
something like that.
Right. But far from being an opportunity to revolt, this event leads him to experience God's forgiveness. And this psalm is one of the 7 penitential psalms, which we've talked about before, as its focus is on the former sins of the psalmist.
Okay.
So he's talking about how I used to be a fuck up, but then I said sorry, and God is so awesome, he forgave me.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. The penitential psalms, or psalms of confession, are Psalms 6, 31, 37, 50, 101, 129, and 142.
Got it.
So of those, we've only already covered Psalm 6.
Right.
These psalms express sorrow for sin. Recall, Psalm 6 started, O Lord, rebuke me not in thine anger. Mm-hmm. And is supposed to have been written to serve as a prayer for anyone suffering from sickness or distress.
Got it.
So this one kind of echoes that a little bit.
Sure.
The psalm itself is not a prayer of repentance, but a confession of sin as it is consummated.
Got it.
Okay?
Yeah.
So he's sinning.
Got it.
And he's sorry.
Yeah.
I guess.
I just don't get it.
I don't either. But I think you do.
I mean,
is the thing.
Right, but okay.
Now here's the thing. Some manuscripts continue this psalm with Psalm 33.
Oh.
So under normal circumstances, I might have read them both kind of together.
Yeah.
But I didn't because I didn't want to.
You didn't want to.
Yeah.
But hypothetically, this might be a continuance that we're about to read.
Hypothetically.
Okay.
I don't know.
Sure.
It didn't really feel like it to me.
Okay. So you chose not to.
Yeah. You tell me what you think.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Psalm 33. And there is no superscription. So maybe it is a continuation. Who knows? Sing joyfully to the Lord, you righteous. It is fitting for the upright to praise him. Praise the Lord with the harp. Make music to him on the 10-string lyre. Sing to him a new song. Play skillfully and shout for joy. Sing him a song, he's the lyre man. For the word of the Lord is right and true. He is faithful in all he does. The Lord loves righteousness and justice. The earth is full of his unfailing love. See, it doesn't feel like a continuation.
No, it doesn't really.
It's an entirely different mood.
I mean, you could get through. So, like, this could be them offering praise after the forgiveness they were given in the first one, I guess. But it doesn't feel the same.
It might be a part 2, but I wouldn't call it continuation.
Right.
Like it's a different
definitely a different
mood.
feeling to it. Yeah.
By the word of the Lord were the heavens made, their starry host by the breath of his mouth. He gathers the waters of the sea into jars. He puts the deep into storehouses. Let all the earth fear the Lord. Let the people of the world revere him. For he spoke and it came to be. He commanded and it stood firm. The Lord foils the plans of the nations. He thwarts the purposes of the peoples. But the plans of the Lord stand firm forever, the purposes of his heart through all generations. Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord, the people he chose for his inheritance. From heaven the Lord looks down and sees all mankind. From his dwelling place he watches all who live on earth. He who forms the hearts of all, who considers everything they do. See, again, it's just an entirely different structure. The mood, the tone, the subject matter, it doesn't feel like a continuation.
No, it doesn't.
So I think I made the right choice to separate the two.
Right.
No king is saved by the size of his army. No warrior escapes by his great strength. A horse is a vain hope for deliverance. Despite all its great strength, it cannot save him. But the eyes of the Lord are on those who fear him, on those whose hope is in his unfailing love, to deliver them from death and to keep them alive in famine. Keep them alive in famine.
Right. Well, I mean, by sending them, I guess, he sent stuff one time.
The load of pheasants.
Well, no, I mean, he sent manna to the Israelites, to keep them from starving to death.
He also buried them in birds.
Yeah, but that was to, hurt them. So,
right. Here's your fucking meat, assholes.
Right.
Yeah. We wait in hope for the Lord. He is our help and our shield. In him our hearts rejoice, for we trust in his holy name. May your unfailing love rest upon us, O Lord, even as we put our hope in you.
Okay. I find it odd that the Lord looks favorably upon those who fear him.
Yeah.
Like, I can never get over the word fear.
Right.
Has to be part of what the Lord wants.
Right.
And I'm like, why would... I don't want people... okay, let's say I'm a boss working somewhere, right?
Right.
I don't want my people to fear me. I want them to respect me.
I think a lot of people don't understand the difference between fear and respect. And I think that you can see that in a lot of people's parenting styles.
Right.
Like, my parents ruled with an iron fist. They wanted our quote-unquote respect, but they wanted that via fear tactics.
Sure.
And I had to unlearn that because I, too, do not want people to obey me and fear me. Like, I think that's why I try to over-explain myself, because I always think, I don't want to force you. I want you to truly see where I'm coming from and
respect
validate
the reasoning as to how I got there.
Exactly. Follow my logic and be on my team enthusiastically.
Well, and more than that, I think part of being a respected leader is leading by example. Like I've been a manager a lot of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And a large part of how I've managed people has been to lead by example. I'm going to be right there with you doing this. I'm going to show you how this is done.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not expecting you to do something that I wouldn't do.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The people that lead from fear to me are not worth respect.
No,
I feel like they're not willing to get down with the people that are doing the work and do the work with them. Like
right.
even just to show them.
Right.
Like it's
or even to try to see what it's like if they didn't start from the bottom, but others did beneath them.
Right.
Like it behooves you, even if you don't have to because you didn't start at the bottom, it behooves you to work with the people who did start at the bottom so that you can empathize and see where they came from. It alters your perspective.
Right.
It's just a better way to be a person. The better person you are, the more effective a leader you can be.
Yeah, honestly, God sounds like he's some kid who got an inheritance from his dad and leads from fear because he knows no other way.
Exactly.
Because he's got no actual skills.
Right.
He just, was like, fear me, bitches.
I have magic. What do you have? Like, my dad's bigger than yours. Like, yeah, no shit. Your dad lives in the fucking sky.
Right.
That there's no contest. You win. You're the biggest. Your dick is the strongest. Like, what do you want me to say?
Right.
But that's not respect. That's
fear.
Yeah. It's just stupid.
Yeah.
So anyway, this is a praise to the creator and preserver. And it starts out, rejoice in the Lord, O ye righteous. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Some manuscripts, as I said, join the Psalm of Praise with Psalm 32.
Right.
I didn't get that feeling, so I kept them separate.
Okay.
Scholars suggest that this one dates back to the time of the Maccabees, which would be about 2nd century BC.
And that's a book, I think, in the Catholic Bible that we aren't currently, that we don't cover, I believe.
That is correct. It is not in this Bible, but I do want to read it before we get to the New Testament. And actually, I'm kind of glad that you said that because it reminded me that there are several books that we do want to read, referred to as the Apocrypha, that used to be in old Bibles, in old King James Version Bibles even.
Huh.
It used to be a section between the Old Testament and the New Testament called the Apocrypha.
Okay.
And Apocrypha did not necessarily mean not canon. It meant we can't verify these sources hardcore, so they're for church reading of church leaders to study this and read this stuff. It's not for the average person.
Oh.
So it's still something that churches used to consider important reading.
So wait, we can verify the Moses story?
We can verify the tales that were told from the Moses story.
We can verify Job?
No.
I'm just what does verify mean?
Okay, let me step back a pace. What I mean is not that we can verify who the author is.
Okay.
We can verify that these were pieces that were written about by many authors, that were referenced by many other people.
Okay.
So we can...
Some have more of a tradition than others, I guess, is what you might say.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. There's a piece that... there's two in particular that used to be in the Apocrypha. One was an addition to the book of Esther, and you can tell that it was written by a different author than the earlier parts of Esther because it had more drama and had her pass out and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah. So
it was all that threshing floor, partying.
Something like that. And then there's also a couple of extra pieces of the book of Daniel that we haven't got to yet.
Okay.
Where he fights with a dragon or proves his intellect by having a dragon eat so much that the dragon's head explodes or something.
Oh, wow.
And the reason that is not kept in the average Bible is because those parts of the story, it's not the fact that there's a dragon.
I mean,
that's not what kept it out of the Bible.
Okay. Right.
Those parts of the story do not reflect him getting his wisdom from God and being gratitude or having gratitude towards God for helping him in these situations. They reflect more on his wisdom and his ability to outsmart people.
Got it.
And they felt like that must clearly have either been written by somebody else or was just not quote unquote important enough. So
there just wasn't enough gratitude towards God.
Mostly.
Essentially.
Yeah. So Esther and Daniel are two parts of the Apocrypha where those are just additions to stories that we will have read by the time we get there. But there are, I want to say like 6 books total that used to actually be included. And 1st and 2nd Maccabees is part of that.
Okay.
So I do want to read those before we move on to the New Testament, but we'll have to find some decent sources.
Yeah.
At that point.
Sounds like a plan.
Yep.
All right, so that was Psalms chapters 31 through 33.
Correct.
And tomorrow we will be back with
Psalms 34, 35, and 36.
All right, we'll see you guys then.
Sure as fuck will.
Hey, wife, I guess that's the end?
But husband, that's just sad.
It doesn't have to be. We are on lots of social media platforms like Twitter. Our handle there is sacrilegious_D.
For D's nuts.
Oh my God. Stop doing that. Anyway, we're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. There's a link to all of our social media sites at our website.
Ooh, we have a website?
Yeah, it's sacrilegiousdiscourse.com, where you can also find a link to our merch shop.
We have a merch shop?
Yep, we have podcast-themed clothing, mugs, notebooks, and more, as well as an atheist and science-themed products.
Wow, our fans should really go check that out right now.
Definitely. They can get in touch with us by sending an email to sacrilegiousdiscourse@gmail.com. But before they do that, we could really use some help.
Oh yeah? With what?
Well, it's not free running the podcast, and we need some financial support in order to get better equipment, which will free up time so we can concentrate on our podcast and our fans.
Okay, so what should they do?
Head over to patreon.com/sacrilegiousdiscourse and sign up as a contributor on our podcast. Supporters there receive additional bi-weekly episodes that we record just for our Patreon members for as little as $2 a month.
Also, we'd really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe on whatever platform you're using.
And Apple Podcast reviews help us out tremendously.
Like and subscribe. Leave an Apple review. Join us on Twitter. Support us on Patreon. That's a lot of instructions. Don't forget to say thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.